Typically when you think of the Big Bang, you normally think of the creation of the universe.
Or the TV show?
Well, not...
Yes,
Okay,
I do.
fine.
Okay, keep going.
TV show as well. But this time it's neither. It's a really cool bass head. And I've also found a bass that goes really nicely with it. Let's check it out. All right, here today we've got the Music Man Sterling Sub 4 bass and the Mark Bass Big Bang head. I thought being so close to Christmas, can't believe it's that time of year already, it's really crazy, that I would have a look at some, you know, modest price range sort of stuff. So this bass is around $400 and the head is under $1,000. So if you're a bit spoiled, you might get one of these for Christmas. So let's check out the bass first. It's got some interesting features which are sort of styled on the 70s Stingray, like a 2-band EQ, active EQ, so active electronics, with its humbucker and large bridge, which is almost like the ones in the 70s which used to have the string mutes under the strings there. It's got a maple neck and a really solid construction. What's sort of embarrassing is back when I, in my earlier years playing bass, I had to spend about, what was it then, $3,500 to buy a Stingray to get a decent bass. This is under $400, and it is so ridiculously crazy how close this comes. As you can tell, that humbucker is definitely the classic Stingray sound. The EQ is really good as well. So when you boost up the treble, it gets nice and bright, and you can cut that out as well. So it's a boost and cut, and you can feel the notch in the middle when it sits in the center. The bass you can boost. And also cut that out. So it's a really versatile bass considering it's only got one pickup. The feel is extremely good as well. This is, not sure if this one's been set up or not out of the factory, but the playability is really nice. It's got a really good reasonable action, so it's not too low or too high, so it's a good setup for any player to begin with. So that is the Music Man Sub 4. Let's check out this bass head. So it's from Mark Bass, which you may all know as the makers of very lightweight bass equipment. You're probably familiar with their yellow speaker cones and their amps and cabs that you can pick up with your little finger. And this head certainly doesn't break from that tradition. It includes a 500 watt Class D power amplifier, their famous voicing filters here, a 4-band EQ. It's a little like the Mark Bass F1 if you guys remember that, which is now discontinued. It's got line out with an XLR output. It's got a auxiliary input, which is a cool new added feature, so you can plug your iPhone or iPod or computer into it to listen back. It's got a headphone output, which is also really cool for practicing at home in your bedroom, and a foot switch input there, which means that these voicing filters can be foot switchable, and so is a mute function. So let's have a listen to what it sounds like. I've still got this Sub 4, and we're going direct out of this into the camera so you can hear exactly what it sounds like. So this is all very flat. So the EQ is all flat, the voicing filters are off, and everything's just pretty standard. It's also worth noting that this combination is very good for slap. As you might know that guys like Flea use the Stingray and Louis Johnson. So it's got that real traditional slap sound. So let's have a look at some of the voicing filters. The first one is like a vintage speaker emulator. So as you raise it, it cuts off a bit of the highs and makes it sound a bit like old school. Smooths it over a bit. So that's that one. Let's have a look at this other filter, which is almost like a mid-scoop. So it brightens up your tone a bit, and it gives you a bit more of a sharper sound. A lot of guys like this sound for slapping. Let's have a look at this EQ. Let's have a listen to the lows to begin with. Man, everything's vibrating in the room when I turn that up. So yeah, it's actually a really tight low end. It doesn't get really flabby or loose or woofy. It's actually a very good usable low end. Let's have a look at the low mids. Pretty punchy. Let's have a look at the high mids. Gives you a bit of more of a honky sort of lead tone that you might want to solo with. And then let's check out the highs. Cool, so that's a basic look at the EQ and the voicing filters, but I definitely suggest you guys come and have a listen and test out one of these and see whether you like it. It's an awesome amp to have at home to practice with in your bedroom with a small like 112 or 110 or 210s cabinet, but it's also really loud. 500 watts of Class D power amplification to play live with. So it's a very, very versatile head, and I reckon it's a great, great thing to have from any bass player.
Now, they look like they'd make really good Christmas presents for someone. Not for you.
No, okay.
No.